Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool, and we are in the last session on a chapter Physical Change and Chemical Change of Class 8 Chemistry. And in my previous video, we started learning about chemical reaction, isn't it? And we spoke about the characteristics of chemical reaction. That means by what factors you can identify a chemical reaction. We studied about the factors like evolution of gas, right? Change in color, formation of precipitate. And in this video, we will learn another factor, that is change in state, which can also be a proof for us to tell whether a chemical change is happening or not. Okay, so whenever a chemical reaction happens, you will observe change in state also. That means the gaseous substances might have converted into solid, or gas can convert it into liquid can get converted into gas, any other way. Okay, so we will study with the help of examples. Example 1 here. Say, imagine you have hydrogen. Hydrogen is a gas, okay? And oxygen. Oxygen is also a gas. Hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas. When both of them combine, you can able to form H2O, which is a liquid, isn't it? So what is happening here? Change in state you can observe here. Two gases, when they combine, you have observe the formation of liquid product. Here the reactants are gases, but the product is a liquid. So by change in state also, you can able to tell that there happened a chemical reaction. Okay, fine. And coming to one more example here, example 2. Ammonia, NH3 is called ammonia. Ammonia is also a gas. And when I combine with HCl, HCl is a gas. So when ammonia gas is combined with HCl gas, you will get to see the formation of ammonium chloride, which is a solid. Ammonium chloride is a salt, and this is formed as a solid. What has happened here? The gaseous reactants have converted into solid product. State has converted from gas to solid. That way you can identify, or you can tell that there happened a chemical reaction. Okay, so these are the two examples that you can remember for change in state. And now we will study about the change in temperature. I already told you in the last video, whenever a chemical reaction happens, you will observe a change in temperature. Okay, so let us speak about the change in temperature, energy issues. Okay, so the last and final characteristic is change in temperature. Change in temperature. Okay, and usually if a chemical reaction has to happen, sometimes you have to supply energy from outside. That is, you will have to heat the system. Then only a chemical reaction can happen. Okay, so what is happening here? Energy or heat. Here energy is nothing but heat. Okay, so heat when you supply from outside, then such a reaction is called endothermic reaction. And sometimes there are certain situations where, imagine A and B, some guy A, some guy B, when they react, during the reaction, heat liberates outside. Heat liberates. Say this is a beaker, I added A, I added B, both are reacting, and when I touch this beaker, I feel hot. Okay, I feel beaker is getting hotter and hotter. That means what? Energy is released, heat is released automatically when A is combining with B. Okay, so such a reaction we will call it as exothermic reaction. Okay, so we will study about two types of reaction here. What are the two types of reaction? First one is endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction. Okay, and the second one is exothermic reaction. exothermic reaction. Okay, their meanings are very, very important to understand. What do you mean by endothermic reaction? Heat supplied from outside for a reaction to occur. Okay, such a reaction is called endothermic reaction. Okay, say for example, you have NaHCO3. Okay, this is what we call it as sodium bicarbonate. What is this? Sodium bicarbonate. And whenever you heat it, say if you want to break this sodium bicarbonate, you know, simply chemical substances will not undergo breakage. Okay, how you can break this molecule? Only when you supply heat, only when you heat it. Okay, that means heat energy you are giving from outside. This is absorbing heat that you are providing from outside. Okay, after absorbing, this guy will undergo breakage and you will get Na2CO3 plus carbon dioxide plus water. Okay, so once this guy breaks down, you know, that is what we mean by a chemical reaction, and this guy is completely getting converted into sodium carbonate. Carbon dioxide gas comes outside and H2O water is formed. Clear, everybody? Say in this reaction, what has happened here? The guy to undergo a chemical change, it required the help of energy. What energy here? Heat. Okay, and we have to supply heat from outside. Only then this reaction can happen. If you don't supply heat from outside, you know, this will not undergo any reaction. This will not undergo any breakage. Okay, so such a reaction where you are supplying heat from outside for a chemical reaction to happen is called endothermic reaction. Okay, therma means heat, endo means what? Substance is absorbing heat. Okay, how it can absorb heat? When you supply it from outside. Such reactions are endothermic reaction. And coming to the exothermic reaction. Okay, thermic means heat, exo in the sense released. Okay, heat is released. So what is the definition you can write here? Heat released or liberated during a chemical reaction. Is called exothermic reaction. Okay, say sometimes what would happen is Mg. Okay, so MgO or just Mg. Okay, when it reacts with oxygen, you know, you will get MgO with large amount of heat energy. Okay, whenever this MgO is formed, you will observe a brilliant bright light with lots of heat. You can sense it. Okay, so what is happening? When Mg is combining with oxygen, you know, automatically when the product is forming, along with the product, you will observe lot of heat liberated outside. Okay, so such a reaction where heat is released during a chemical reaction is called exothermic reaction. Okay, and here purposefully you are supplying heat from outside. Why? To make a chemical reaction happen. But here reaction is happening the moment you combine these guys. Okay, so during a reaction, heat is getting liberated outside automatically. Okay, so such a reaction is called exothermic reaction. Okay, and another best example is, this is example 1 and example 2. You have calcium oxide. Okay, calcium oxide can also be called as quicklime. Quicklime. Okay, and you added water. You added water, and what you would observe, the formation of calcium hydroxide with lots of heat. This is the reaction, we see it in a real life situation. This is nothing but whitewashing a walls. You must have observed this. When you construct a house, the final step what you do is you will paint it. So before you paint it, you first whitewash it. Yes or no? So how do you make that whitewashing liquid? Say you will get some cement from market, that white cement you will call, which is nothing but quicklime. To that slowly you will add water. Okay, so whenever you add slowly water to that quicklime, you get that white color liquid. Along with that, if you touch that vessel, you will feel hot. Okay, you will feel that heat getting released. You see, you are not supplying heat from outside. Automatically it is happening. The moment you slowly add water to this guy, you feel that container getting hotter and hotter. So what is happening actually? When these two guys are combining, automatically heat is liberated out along with the formation of product. Okay, so if that happens automatically, automatically if heat gets released out when two guys are combining, such reactions are called exothermic reactions. Okay, so remember the definitions of these two guys, they are very, very, very important. Okay, so this is all about a chemical reaction and its characteristics. Okay, and last and final thing is differentiating between a physical change and a chemical change. Okay, physical change, what are the characteristics? List out. No new substance formed. Physical change is reversible. Very little heat changes you will observe. All these characteristics you can write under physical change. In case of chemical change, its characteristics. What are the characteristics of chemical change? New substance is formed. The change is, permanent, or it is, you can say it is irreversible. Okay, and later the change in energy absorbed or released during a chemical change is very much highest. Okay, so all these differentiating points you can mention it. So this is all about the chapter, very simple chapter, physical change and a chemical change. Okay, so revise it carefully, and if you have any doubts relating to any question that is there in your textbook, or a general doubt it may be, you can post it in a comment box. We will try to answer it. Okay, so I keep doing many other chapters also, keep waiting for the chapters. So this completes our session. Thank you very much, and if you like our video, please like it, share, comment, and subscribe our channel for more updates to learn it in a easier way. So with that, I end the session. See you with the next chapter. Thank you.